Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamerdad, with another video for you. So first off, I'd like to give a shout out to one of my Patreon supporters, Frank Wilson. Thanks for your support. Now, if you haven't checked your notices, we do have a new update as of tomorrow evening, version 2.14.200, another style Rose Unseen. So for those who haven't been following the Japan spoilers, this is AS Biaka, our beloved, blunt hammer user. She was featured in some of the old side episodes and has an affiliation to our long-lost friend Galliard. We really do need to have him as a 5-star one day. Now that being said, this is a new update, so this will be through the Play Store because we're currently on 2.14.100 to my understanding. And of course, like I said, 24 hours from now, although being that it is a new update, we should have it on iOS a couple of hours earlier. So of course, we're obviously going to have a new banner, AS Biaka. Not sure who she's shared with because this update also comes with a manifest, and a lot of times when an update has a manifest, the unit is paired on the banner with that manifest character. Now that being said, AS Biaka is a very interesting unit. She is the only unit that can do something called optical camouflage. So she can either activate it in through VC or activate it through her basic attack, which, once she uses it, she's an optical camouflage, and when she's in there, she is a lot more powerful. She boosts her own power int quite a lot. She also guarantees her own crit, and surprisingly, she is less likely to be targeted by attack. Now, first of all, I'm not sure if that means she won't be or how much the chance is reduced by. Not only that, but I'm imagining that AoEs can still hit her when she's in the front line. So if you have further information on that, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, does sound very interesting, especially since she does boost herself by power and int 150, and that is quite a lot. I mean, in some cases, that would be very similar to an AS Yifa boost on many enemies. on any team members. Now, what stands out for her is her 2 5-star AS moves are really interesting. First of all, one is inflict poison and pain to all enemies for 5 turns, ignore target resistance, and wind type resist down 30%, blunt resist down 30%, and that is stackable for up to 3 stacks, which is a total of 60/60 minus if needed. And for some reason, it says that if she's an optical camouflage, when the enemy takes pain and poison damage afterwards, they're going to take a lot more damage. So we'll have to see how significant is that, whether or not there's enough to do damage to bosses, or really more to clear any mobs, in which case I'm not sure how significant that would be. Now, that being said, it does allow it to continually keep on increasing in damage over time. And remember, this is for 5 turns and ignores target resistance. So very good for helping to set up units that depend on pain and poison, such as things like AS Chio. I know, not the same element. But more importantly, my waifu Suzette, who does benefit from both pain and poison status. That means that her demonic thrust won't be having to be used. And I can see this being used in an all wind elemental team. Now, in terms of AS Biaka, other than the fact that she can do optical camouflage, she does have a super one-hit attack that obviously benefits from both pain and poison status. And while she's in optical camouflage, it will triple debuff the enemy 60, 60, and 60 power, int, and speed, although only for 1 turn. Now, remember that 1 turn really means 2 turns. The turn that is inflicted and 1 turn after. So if you really need to, I believe you can do Lethal Jammer, which is her, kind of her setup move, or she can activate her optical camouflage, and then alternate between activating optical camouflage followed by this super attack, which will do tremendous amount of damage, especially after the HP stopper, because it does more damage when the enemy has 50% or less. So I guess you can pair it with units that can do significant amount of damage up to the HP stopper, or if you do a large 1 turn AF, I imagine you can set up for right after that on turn 2 if you haven't already killed it. So some really interesting and unique I guess, ways to use her. Not sure how significant she is in terms of people's, Blunt team, being that we do have free Blunt wind user, no access. Blunt itself could use some more wind Blunt, but if you're really using a unit that is, fighting bosses that are weak to wind, you have other options as well. I'll cover that more in my Should You Summon tomorrow evening once it releases. For that, for those who want to spend money, there is a 2 times Faithful, pretty standard stuff. Again, I'll have to see who she's paired with before making my assumptions and decisions on how valuable this banner is. Now, for those who do like subquests and storyline, we do have almost like a little side quest featuring the Mythos, Apex of Logic, and Cardinal Scales Forward Unto Dawn. Now, spoiler alert, for those who haven't done the Cardinal Vestige or the Apex of Logic, the unit that is featured on the manifest is AS Cetie, and Cetie actually shows up in this storyline, and he is related, although I won't spoil it for you. That being said, note that this quest, timeline-wise, takes place after the character quest for Cetie AS. And so you do have to have Cetie AS in order to kind of, know more about the story. Although, note that you do not have to have Cetie AS in order to begin this. You do have to have finished the Apex of Logic. So hopefully you have had a chance to do that. If not, I will be uploading that storyline as well. And finally, like I mentioned, there is a manifest weapon fight for Cetie AS. I have already side graded my Cetie AS, being that I had only pulled the normal style a couple of times, and he actually carried me through hard when I have very few fire or fire lance type units. And so I'm actually quite happy to kind of play around with his AS once we get his manifest underway. I hear this fight is quite difficult, and so we shall see how difficult indeed it is. I'm not sure that AS Cetie will be able to stand up to the likes of Eva and Flam combination, but we shall see. Now, one other really exciting thing for most of you out there is that there is going to be a premium starter set that will be available in the store tomorrow. This is a paid purchase, and it only is 1 per account. Now, that being said, it is 1,000 paid stone plus some specialized badges. I believe some of them have a mix of XP gain and stuff like that, so that you can help level up your characters easier. This is a starter set after all, and some additional equipment that I believe again does increase your XP gain. So for those who are relatively new to the game and don't have access to a lot of things like high class scrolls to increase your XP, or even if you're near end game when you really don't have a lot of time, weapons and things like that will help you grind out more XP. And I don't believe, though, that they are... I'm not sure if they actually match up with, grinding out manifest weapons. Okay. This is really great deal because apparently the price of this will be very, very low. I'll see how much it is in Canada, because I do live in Canada, and I can break down the value of that tomorrow. So a bunch of XP gain, you can see that, stats and badges, and so on and so forth. And you can... do some upgrades, which I hope doesn't lock me out of certain content, because it looks like if you do have this purchase and you have the gear, then you can do certain things. So, well, anyways, hopefully that I can see that, those events. And finally, if you are a fan of Xion, the cat lover, so to speak, you can buy some equipment for your cat. There are some discounted Chronostones packages. Only 1 time each, although, like I said, if you are preparing for, main story part 3, you can buy them ahead of time and kind of stack them. They are only available for about 2 weeks, and so, you can save those paid stones for the future. And some exciting news for those who like to watch Scott and the official Another Eden Global channel. An official live stream is coming up in about a week from now, so that will be really cool. They'll talk about, obviously, a lot of upcoming content, and Scott is a great guy, pretty funny. Make sure you subscribe to his Another Eden official global channel, and of course, if you haven't liked and subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate that as well. So, let me know in the comments below what you think of this update, whether or not you have Biaka. Are you going to summon for AS Biaka? What do you think about the manifest for AS Cetie? And more importantly, how about the starter set, guys? Like, are you planning to buy it? Are you going to stay free to play if you're already free to play? And so on and so forth. For me, I will be passing on the banner. I do have a 4.5 Biaka. And I will also be passing on the paid package because, as many of you know, I'm trying to still push the limits of how far a completely free-to-play account can go to see if I can still be viable in the end game. Anyways, I am looking forward to the Manifest fight, and we shall see how difficult it truly is. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.